戏还没演完吗？唐已经灭了。
Now, at number 1, we've got over here Project the Perceiver from roughly 2 weeks ago. What actually came our way as an open-world action RPG with Chinese cultural inspirations, actually being developed by a Chinese developer and based on the Chinese Huang law era that actually goes back to the 2nd century. This game is at the moment one of the most anticipated action RPG Unreal Engine 5 projects in the making that's also set in an open world setting just like Black Myth Wukong. The game is only rumored to be coming out for the PlayStation 4 and 5 sometime in 2023.
I hadn't asked for this crap. Trouble had come to me in big dark swarms. The good and the just were like gold dust in the city. I had no illusions. I was not one of them.
Remedy Entertainment and Rockstar Games did actually announce earlier that they will be remaking Max Payne 1 and 2, going by The Fall of Max Payne. Now, the fact is, these two games have been in development for quite a while, in fact for 3 years, being actually made from the ground up, mainly because of Remedy's newest engine, and that these games are going to be next generation console exclusive, possibly releasing by the end of 2023 at their earliest. So keep it in mind.
You can give a man a gun and make him your weapon. But some men, even unarmed, are like the edge of a knife.
I've actually mentioned this one at its review just a few months ago, but just in case, guys, Antimatter Games, developers of the old first-person shooter series, came up with a reveal of a brand new entry called IGI Origins. Well, they said the game's now releasing across all gaming platforms sometime next year. This is actually a prequel to the 2000 original game, where they're gonna be reimagining the series with a modern take on the shooter genre. Check it out, just in case you missed it, and make sure to stay tuned for a precise release date.
Well, work to be done, eh? We still have a mission to complete.
You're here looking for someone? Maybe. Some missing señorita?
Ashley, where are you?
In case you missed out on the updates, Capcom came out with the news that Resident Evil 4 will not only have changes in graphics, gameplay, but also in its lore. They said the remake will be even more scarier, as it was also the case with the other two recent Resident Evil remakes. Reconfirmation that the game is now indeed releasing for PCs and both generation of consoles March 24 next year, with the same all over-the-shoulder camera.
I'm gonna get you home safe.
You can stop right there.
Ada, who are you? What are you doing here?
My faithful disciple will show her the path.
Ashley, run!
entire world shall overflow with his grace.
What's happening to me?
Now, abandon your body.
Leave the girl. She's lost no matter what.
Now that he has chosen death.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Came out and suddenly revealed a totally brand new IP called Wild Hearts, which is first off a collaboration game in partnership with Koei Tecmo. Guys, this will be an open world monster hunting game, and of course a lot inspired by the old Monster Hunter games. This is how it really looks. The game's said to be coming out February 16 next year for PCs, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X only.
Repeat after me. I, V, do solemnly swear.
A couple of months ago, CD Projekt Red came out and announced something called Phantom Liberty. Well, in case you haven't been up to date yet, this is a DLC for Cyberpunk 2077, adding an all-new district of Night City that they've actually been working on since the game's release. The DLC is set to be released for PCs, Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 only, and it'll arrive early to mid next year.
Bad idea.
Stepping into action RPG territory here. Well, we've got from precisely a month ago something over here called Atlas Fallen. This is a fantasy action RPG from the same creators behind the Surge game, folks, developers Dig 13. And this time around with a Middle Eastern inspired theme, in fact partly an open world game. Here's a trailer, game set to be released for PCs and the next generation of consoles sometime next year.
Even in ruins, we endure. We won't let go. For now, we can stand for ourselves. And face.
In my restless dreams, I see that town. Silent Hill.
Now, in case you actually missed out on the news, roughly a couple of months ago, Konami finally came out and announced the much-awaited and rumored Silent Hill 2, which was not only a thing for the past few years, 3 years, but it is actually being developed by Blooper Team, which is the same folks behind the recently released game The Medium. They said that Silent Hill 2, as it is referred to, not remake, is in development for PCs and the PlayStation 5 and possibly Xbox Series X as well, and it's going to be coming out early to mid next year.
But it's all over now. I don't need you anymore. I'm ready. Mary?
Stay your blade from the flesh of the innocent.
Coming up behind that, we've got Assassin's Creed Mirage official. Well, the new game, in case you're just new to, takes place in the 9th century Baghdad, that is in Iraq, with a much younger protagonist and pretty much everything the series has had to offer to this day. everything good about them. The game's story is gonna be shorter now, but it's gonna have a much advanced gameplay system. Check it out. Here's a trailer. Mirage is set to be released for PCs and all consoles except Switch by the end of 2023.
From this day forward, you are a hidden one.
There's a house in New Orleans they call the Rising Sun.
Next up we've got, well, perhaps the biggest surprise reveal of THQ Nordic's showcase earlier this year. Well, in case you missed out on Alone in the Dark, which is just a reimagining version of the first 3 games in the original series that were released first like 30 years ago. These games are being built from the ground up. They've been scheduled to be coming out early to mid next year, and in case you are new to whatsoever, this is a series of survival horror cult classic, mainly horror games. Take a look.
Have you ever talked to a doctor about your condition?
This is madness!
Are you crazy? Fall on your knees, wear the mask, praise his name.
There are hundreds of exo fighters running around out there. Everyone's armed, and nobody knows what'll happen next. 1 minute, they could be helping you. The next minute, they're shooting you in the back.
Moving on, we have Exo Primal once again. In case you are new to this, is a dinosaur survival co-op multiplayer by Capcom, where your main goal is just complete certain missions albeit with dinosaurs all around the place in 5 versus 5 matches. The game is actually set in the year 2040, where the planet has just went through some crisis, some dino crisis, where dinosaurs, due to an experiment, came back on Earth, and your job is to just exterminate. Check it out. Game set to be released early to mid next year for PCs and all consoles as well.
10 minutes.
You stay alive, man. Only you.
If you give an AI like Leviathan the directive, improve our exosuits, it has to complete. It doesn't matter whether that takes 100 tries, a million, all for the perfect suit.
More than that.
But at least do me the courtesy of looking me in the face while
In the year 860, the Imperial army will march upon Rosaria.
Square Enix, on the other hand, although haven't yet officially revealed a specific date here, came out and once again teased Final Fantasy XVI and said the game's releasing for the PlayStation 5 and eventually PCs around summer next year. Not just that, a new trailer also, and the word that Final Fantasy XVI won't be much of a multiplayer this time around, but an individual experience and heavily focused on story and its single-player campaign. Check it out in case you missed it.
But instead has left us outcasts.
And so I became their puppet. What makes them think they have the right to use us? To leave us to die when our bodies are spent?
I'll crush him! Flay him!
Developed by Round 8 Studios, we've got over here at number 13 Lies of P, revealed around spring last year. and ever since, one of the most Bloodborne-esque, Lovecraftian, Souls-like inspired and also eeriest games in the making, albeit featuring the character Pinocchio as he looks to navigate a city, lying his way out of the trouble, but mostly actually fighting some very interesting monsters also. Check it out. Game set to be released early next year for PCs and all consoles except Switch.
Finally, we meet, son.
The stage is set.
The light shines brightest in the darkest of times.
All right, buddy, I'm here for you. Don't worry.
Don't give up.
Keep
You can lean on me if you want.
Между аномалией и маслиной я уже лучше пулю выберу.
At number 14, following an almost 3-year-old announcement, we've got over here once again Stalker, the sequel's latest update, which was previously announced to be coming out December 8th this year and now delayed to early next year. Guys, Stalker 2 will apparently be a fully open world first-person survival shooter with no multiplayer components in mind, probably just a co-op element, following the previous entry's formula, albeit with modern features.
Не первый год в зоне, вроде примелькалось уже, а каждый день удивляет.
Зона надоесть не может. Говорят, ты знаешь, где вход в фундамент.
Quantic Dream's founder, David Cage, in case you've been waiting for an update, like me, since its reveal earlier this year, finally came out and said that Star Wars Eclipse will be their most ambitious project to this day, and that it actually won't even a little bit be in the same vein as the company's previous games like Detroit Become Human. The development of the story of the game actually started building up since 15 years ago, and last but not least, it is going to be released by the end of 2023 at its earliest.
Come on! This is first platoon! We've lost the square! We can't hold it!
Guys, Focus Entertainment, on the other hand, actually around January this year, came out and dropped the announcement of another Warhammer game called Space Marine 2. Well, for those of you new, this is a third-person shooter from the cult classic Space Marine franchise. For those of you who do know, a brutal gameplay trailer to go with it too. This is the teaser that came up with. The game is coming to the next generation of consoles and PCs only, sometime next year. And this is how it really looks.
Colossal remains. For some forces,
even death cannot end. But now, eons later, the fallen god's influence pervades the world again, corrupting even sworn enemies.
Coming up behind that by the same folks behind Sniper Ghost Warriors games, we've got Lords of the Fallen, what was originally set to come out 5 years ago but then changed developers during development stage, and now releasing early to mid next year. The sequel over here will be coming to the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S and PCs. It is going to be utilizing Unreal Engine 5 graphics and touts as an action RPG set in a new setting with a heavy emphasis on story. So keep it in mind.
To our shores, and I must call you home.
And last but not least, in case you haven't had the opportunity to be introduced with this one, there is a new Wonder Woman game coming from Monolith Productions, which is the same folks behind all Lord of the Rings games, in partnership with Warner Bros. Games, and the news just in that it'll be a single-player open-world action adventure, just like Spider-Man games. Game is going to be introducing a totally brand new original story set in the DC universe, and it's going to be released sometime next year.
You are a hero, but you can be more. You can be a leader. You are Wonder Woman.